There are crops that obey the rules of the world we built, and there are crops that quietly defy them. There is one that doubled harvests, survived winters that erased entire fields, and returned each year without asking permission. We did not abandon it because it failed. We abandoned it because it succeeded too well, because it grew freely, beyond ownership, beyond control. Beneath your feet lies a memory older than empires, a survival written into the soil itself. This is the story of the sunchokes, a story of resilience, erasure, and the knowledge nature never let die.
Welcome to Mystic Roots Vault.
In 1605, French explorer Samuel de Champlain stepped onto the shores of what would become Massachusetts. The Algonquin people received him with warmth and food. Among the dishes was a knobby root they called kaishuk panak, the sunroot. Champlain tasted it and wrote that it rivaled the artichoke of Europe. But for the Algonquin, it was more than flavor. They carried a story. When Earth Woman died in childbirth, the first sunroots grew from her feet, a gift born from sacrifice. In ancient cultures, the foods that kept people alive were sacred. They were woven into myth because myth was a way of honoring truth, that sustenance was not an industry, but an inheritance.
17th century Europe was a continent breaking under exhaustion, soils depleted, winters unforgiving, famine arriving like a recurring ghost. When Champlain returned with the sunroot, it spread across Europe like an unexpected breath of hope. It required no fertilizer, no careful nursing. It endured cold that killed wheat. It fed peasants, livestock, and kings alike. But its greatest offense was philosophical. It suggested that food could be abundant, without cost, that nature could provide without passing through the hands of those who wished to own it. And systems built on scarcity have always feared abundance.
The sunroot is not delicate or symmetrical. It rises tall, 6 to 10 feet, crowned with bright yellow flowers, following the movement of the sun. Yet its treasure hides underground, clusters of irregular tubers packed with inulin, a nutrient older cultures understood intuitively. For tribes across North America, sunroots were a living insurance policy. Plant once, harvest forever. A single patch could nourish a village for generations. In its persistence lies a lesson. Nature does not operate on convenience. It acts on resilience, quiet, deep, and unstoppable. In 1805, crossing the frozen Dakotas, Lewis and Clark's expedition neared starvation. Sacagawea found the answer beneath the snow, caches of sunroots gathered and stored by mice for winter. She roasted them over fire and kept the expedition alive. History tends to glorify conquest, maps, and ambition, but often survival hinges on the smallest, most overlooked gifts, the quiet intelligence of ecosystems and the food civilizations once trusted.
As agriculture industrialized, the world demanded uniformity, smooth surfaces, predictable shapes, crops that aligned with machines, markets, and taxation. The sunroot refused all of this. It grew unevenly. It spoiled faster. It could not be patented or neatly processed. And because it regrew endlessly, it threatened a system that relied on buying seeds every year. Potatoes, compliant, uniform, easily stored, became the chosen crop of the new age. The sunroot was dismissed as a weed, not because it lacked value, but because it lacked obedience.
World War I, the turnip winter. Germany starved under blockade. Fields failed. Tens of thousands died. But sunroots, growing wild in forgotten patches, saved those who found them. World War II was even harsher. In occupied France, the Nazis seized nearly all food. Potatoes were taken for soldiers. Sunroots, knobby, humble, despised, kept millions alive. In the Netherlands, the hunger winter claimed over 20,000 lives. Families dug frozen earth with bare hands, searching for anything edible. When peace returned, the memory of suffering lingered.
A generation associated sunroots with desperation and death. And so the crop disappeared from markets, from tables, from pride. Human memory often forgets what saved us, because remembering hurts.
In France, survivors refused to let sunroots near their kitchens. In markets, vendors hid them behind more respectable produce. The food that saved millions became a symbol of humiliation. Yet nature does not care for human shame. Sunroots continued to spread along roadsides and abandoned fields, a living reminder of a history people wanted to bury. Our relationship with food is emotional. We do not only taste flavor, we taste eras, traumas, and memories carried through generations. Decades later, scientists uncovered the truth inside this forgotten tuber. Inulin, 50 to 60% by weight, passed through the stomach undigested, nourishing beneficial bacteria in the colon. It lowered blood sugar, improved digestion, boosted immune resilience. Some studies suggested it could slow or stop certain cancers. Once again, science confirmed what indigenous knowledge had preserved for centuries. Some wisdom is older than laboratories. Some truths live in the soil, long before they are written in journals.
The sunroot was never defeated by nature. It was defeated by economics. It grows too unpredictably for machines. It matures at different times. It refuses standardization. It cannot be controlled, owned, or made into a recurring profit. Industrial agriculture does not reward resilience. It rewards obedience, uniformity, and dependency. The sunroot embodies the opposite of that: freedom.
Today, as droughts intensify and traditional crops falter, researchers are turning back to forgotten species, the ones the industrial world once dismissed. And there, they find the sunroot waiting. It requires little water. It heals soil instead of eroding it. It survives cold that kills potatoes and heat that scorches corn. It yields abundantly in chaos. Perhaps what we once called a weed was simply a crop ahead of its time. Perhaps nature was preparing for a future we did not yet understand.
The sunroot never vanished. It waited, perennial, patient, unkillable, beneath a thin layer of earth. To hold one in your hand is to hold a fragment of human memory. Famine and survival, erasure and resilience, loss and return. Some knowledge is not written in books. It is grown. It is dug out of soil by hands willing to remember. We did not lose the sunroot. We simply forgot it. But forgetting is not final, not as long as the earth continues to remember for us.